things are tough, or those EDs saying we get money from America is happy about that. Maricha Chayaka Wayanega, Kwete RTGSC. Everyone knows that. So I'm going through this press statement. We can start. We note with concern the continual illegal and illegitimate reign of the government and his maladministration. We are particularly taken aback by the heaviness of the state in dealing with the non-violent, peaceful nation shutdown called by Tajamuka, the labor movement and other pre-democracy groups. Several innocent and defenseless citizens were killed in a needless and senseless military reign of terror. We are particularly concerned that this is the second time that the military have manned the street, leaving a trail of blood and lifeless bodies, the first being the 1st of August 2018. A commission of inquiry was set up, and its only tangible and time outcome was the payment of a fit allowance was set for the so-called commissioners. We insist that all inclusive political dialogue is the only policy to the prevailing political crisis and economic instability in the country. We demand a nation and not a political dialogue. The government continues to harass and exclude the poor from the feeding trough. Vendors are continually harassed. Civil servants underpaid. Students and graduates out of attachment and employment. Tobacco and other farmers robbed of their produce. Peasants, farmers, and residents continue to allow under abject and chronic poverty arising out of gross corruption and unprecedented economic mismanagement. Mnangagwa continues to prefer foreign investors over our local business community. Opportunities are being diverted from the indigenous to the so-called foreign investors who have not brought any tangible investment to the country, who are in fact looking for money and opportunities themselves by masquerading as investors. Recent media reported that Mnangagwa is gearing to compensate white farmers as part of his reform agenda. We insist that Mnangagwa cannot compensate white farmers before acknowledging and compensating Gukurahundi victims. It cannot and will not be. The government has deferred the constitutional reform agenda, arguing that there is no money, yet they have money to give the white commercial farmers. Devolution, commissioners, diaspora's vote, alignment of laws with the new constitution and the broader actualization of the new constitution are all on hold. Hospitals and medical practitioners are severely under-equipped, yet the government chooses to send money to a group of white commercial farmers, most of whom are harbored with the comfort of their native countries. In a sense, the country is in a worse off situation than it was when Mnangagwa was the president, and sadly, sliding even further down. We as citizens of this country, holding no aspiration for political office, Tajamuka, of partisan politics cannot allow this situation to continue to degenerate. It cannot be business as usual. Commissions, diaspora vote, alignment of law with the new constitution and the broader actualization of the new constitution are all on an indefinite hold. Hospitals and the medical practitioners are severely under-resourced. I've repeated this, it's very important for the citizens of our country. After the infamous Operation Restore Legas, one wonders what Legas has been restored. Diamonds looted have not been restored. Funds stolen from treasury not yet restored. Battered economy not yet restored. Human rights not yet restored. Freedom of peaceful protest not yet restored. The list goes on. Perhaps restoration of Legas means military rule. Killing protesting civilians in a cold blood. Arresting human rights defenders. the poor getting poorer, renaming the surrogate currency from bond notes to RTGS dollar, change of figures, and facing the ruling party's corridors of power, more state captures of the judiciary, army, police, democratic institutions like the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, the anti-corruption. When Mnangagwa ascended the president, sadly it is sliding even further down. We as the citizens of this country, inspired by non-partisan politics, cannot allow this situation to continue to degenerate. It cannot be business as usual. People have suffered enough in the hands of privileged few. In 2016, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe building, we gave Mangunja a dossier explaining why the bond note was doomed to fail. He pronounced loudly and clear to everyone that if it fails, he would resign. To date, he has not resigned. Yet the bond note has stumbled and crashed like a deck of cards, and he has personally remorselessly rejected it. We have witnessed our president, or the president of Zimbabwe, the so-called president of Zimbabwe, saying we have 2 million from Trump. We are happy. Now we are talking to Trump. RTGS, it's not RTGS, I say RTGS, US dollar. What does that mean? To everyone, to civil servants, army, soldiers, teachers, nurses. There are people, they also think. Huh? You're on the top there, and you're the one who is saying, Mariangwa inabasa. It's clear to everyone, Mariangwa inabasa. Saka, murukubata ni kumeso. Wa murukubata mmeso munika munu mdiani. Mnangagwa himself was seen groveling at the prospect of receiving $2.5 million from the Americans for Cyclone Idai. He went further to disparage the RTGS dollar, signaling the doom of his own government currency, which he paradoxically endorsed. He's the one who says RTGS, Shanda. And everyone, when the government says this works, everyone believes it works. Because no nyadzisa. This is the truth. Since the 4th of January national shutdown, we have and continue to mobilize the citizens in their multifaceted composition to organize themselves and collectively confront the national question. Although peaceful as usual, our people have been marked and continue to be robbed of their hard-earned money. Mutuli Nuve is on 2% tax on the shoulders of the already burdened citizens. Imagine that 2% tax. It's very painful. Very painful. But those guys, they're tough guys. We also hear that Mtuli Nwe, Nikimangwana, Patrick Chabata, and others, high-ranking Mnangagwa's allies are staying at 5-star Mikos Sheraton hotels paid for the state. This is not unbelievable. It is also totally unacceptable and disgraceful in a comatose economy like ours. Someone stay in a hotel for 5 years. Huh? Brothers and sisters are suffering. We are suffering. Nobody is enjoying this economy. The vision to live large and beyond our earnings of the previous regime is again rearing its ugly head. Notwithstanding this, the use of chartered flights by the first citizens since he assumed the presidency, and more recently is his wife, in a bleeding economy, for that matter, is abnormal. In 2016, we fought tooth and nail until the then Vice President, Pekezela Mpoko, was forcibly moved from a local hotel, having stayed there for close to a year using the taxpayers' money. We are putting this one official on notice. We are coming for you at those hotels, and we will enjoy peaceful protests at those hotels until we vacate. We also note the backdoor return of countless roadblocks, accompanied by senseless spot fines and unacceptable conduct by the police officers. Again, we are putting you on notice. In conclusion, we demand the immediate and unconditional release of all those being held in communicado and illegal detained under trumped up charges, ostensibly for observation, a strategy identified with tyranny and suppression of dissident voices inherited from Ian Douglas Smith, although this time perfected under the guise of regime change agenda. The Mnangagwa regime cannot profess ignorance up to now to Itai Dzamara's whereabouts. This will never be a closed chapter until perpetrators are brought to book. Whether I die, whether he dies, but this will remains. Same like Gukura Wundi. It remains. It remains. You won't silence a word. A word is very strong than my flesh. The world is, Tajamuka remains undeterred and unshaken by the intimidatory and fatal tactics of the present government to silence the voice of the freedom of constitutional defenders. The world is watching you. Our actions will remain lawful, democratic, legal, peaceful, non-violent, as constitutionally provided for in the full glare of the public domain. We are presently consulting with various stakeholders, mobilizing the citizens towards a peaceful and collective action against the government and uncouth behavior towards its own people. In the shortest possible time, we will be pronouncing a clear course of action to hold the government to account and fulfill its constitutional obligation to the citizens. We are an action-oriented human rights social movement with a citizen-driven agenda, victory-inspired and results-oriented. We did it in 2016. We can do it today and in times to come, until the people of Zimbabwe enjoy their political liberties, their socio-economic emancipation, and they deserve living conditions. Thank you.
I also want to add something. My name is Tine Minutes. I'm a member of social movement in Zimbabwe. I think most of you knows me. We are very clear to the government. Our appeal to the government is to hear us, because we represent the suffering citizens. The citizens are affected socially. I heard my brother talking. The prices of, the fares of buses have gone up. The school fees prices has gone up. The basic commodities are going up. The salaries are not going up. So what it means is the citizens are suppressed by its own government. We are a constitutional abided movement. We are very clear. This narrative to our government is they have to provide a solution to the crisis that we have right now. Our core is for a solution. We are not like what they say we are anti-government. No, we represent the masses of the masses of Zimbabwe. We represent the citizens. So the citizens are crying. The government is ignoring the citizens. So our issue is not we are against the government. The issue is we need the socio-economic issue. We need the socio-economic freedom to the people of Zimbabwe. So today, where I'm coming from right now, that's why I delayed. My car was claimed in Samora Mashel. You know, I paid $1, then I get into another shop. After 30 minutes, I'm coming there. My car is what? Claimed. Where do I get $55? But within 5 minutes, I paid $1. I was calculating that in normal working hours, 9 hours or 10 hours, a normal brother of me, of mine, even a CIO or my intelligence guys here, they are paying about $18 a day for parking your car in the streets. So the issue, the equation is, in all normal countries, the government is to be there for its people. So our government is ignorant to its own citizens. So we are saying very soon we will unveil the programs of action. The programs of action are constitutional, very constitutional. If it is a demonstration, it has to be very constitutional. If it is a shutdown, it has to be constitutional. If there are laws that regulates you should do this A, B, C, D, Tajamuka is going to do that in other social movements in the country. So that maybe the government will hear us. The government can understand where we are coming from and where we are going. We are not enemies. We are not terrorists. We are normal citizens like everyone here. We are crying to them to hear us. Our pleas for them to hear us, our grievances, we need to be heard. Then lastly, I would want to announce to the media house that due to this, very soon in Zimbabwe, we are going to launch a citizens movement or a social movement. It's not a political party. We have seen that citizens were being driven to political activism. So we need to change the narrative now. The dispensation, we need to change it. We now need to introduce a new social activism. This is a non-political issue. It has to do with the human rights. People should know their rights. Where citizens stand, where the government stands, what the government should do, what the citizens should do. It's a movement that we're going to launch very soon. I think it's in a final stage now. So very soon we are launching it. All provinces are coming in the city, if it is Masvingo, if it is where. But I'll tell you, it's a non-political thing. We are not forming a political party, but we need to put more activism brain to the citizens. We need to start a new thing, because the politicians were taking advantage of us. The government is taking advantage of the citizens. They don't listen to them. They don't care about them. They only care about themselves and their families. They're driving luxurious cars. They've got mines. We've got nothing. They're looting everything from us. They're taxing us, but they're not providing formal jobs for us. So this I want to put it forward to the media that very soon there will be the first social movement in the country, not a political party, but a social movement which is going to be launched in Zimbabwe. But in general, I'll say that's it for now. Thank you. So I'll just take charge. I think I will just ask for some few questions from you guys.